For the last 4 years, Shadebinder has been played 2 different ways. Holding and throwing out a Bleak Watcher turret, and holding and throwing out 2 Bleak Watcher turrets. But today I'll show you a brand new way to play Shadebinder, which is all about shattering big fat crystals all over the map and just AoEing down these huge shatters. But before you think I'm a miracle worker, I'm sorry to say that the super still is pretty bad. Not even Bungie could fix that one. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to help showcase a couple of weapons that complement the build but aren't necessary, but I found to be really fun to combine with this. Now our build is going to center around our 2 exotics, weapon and armor piece, but let's start with the armor piece. The Verity's Brow Helm. Weapon final blows with the damage that matches your subclass energy, which in our case is Stasis, grants you 1 stack of death throws. And what 1 stack of death throws gets you is 50% additional base cooldown recharge rate on your grenade, 20% damage bonus to your grenade, and that's per stack. And that goes up to 5 times, maxing out at 250% recharge rate on your grenade and 100% extra damage on your grenade. And whenever you throw your grenade, not only do you get that double damage, but you feed your allies that are within 20 meters of you feel the flames for 5 seconds. And whilst they have feel the flames, your allies get 10 times grenade recharge rate. There are going to be so many nades out on the field, nobody's going to know what to do. And this is going to pair really nicely with our exotic weapon of choice, which is the Wicked Implement. Until like this week, I thought the Wicked Implement was an old season pass exotic that I just forgot about and just left in my vault. But it turns out it was like one of the 3 exotics I didn't actually have. So I went and did the quest with some people on stream. Come by the stream, by the way, and we got it done. I was surprised of how strong this weapon actually feels. Nobody's really using this gun, and I know it was bad on launch, but I think I found a way to make it actually good. So Wicked Implement's main trait is called Creeping Attrition, which is rapidly landing precision hits, causes the targets to be slowed. You can hit 3 precision hits with the Wicked Implement and it'll start Creeping Attraction. And whilst Creeping Attraction is active, continuous hits will keep Keeping Attraction active, whilst also applying 40 stacks of slow, which if you do the math, if you hit 3 shots for 40 each, it will hit the 100 cap to freeze. Which means this is effectively very similar to Chill Clap, where you can slow a target and overload champions, and freeze targets such as unstoppable champions. And so all you're missing is a way to become Radiant, and you can deal with all 3 champions with this 1 gun. But that isn't it. Also, Tithing Harvest. Whilst Creeping Attraction is active, destroying stasis crystals or landing precision final blows create stasis shards, and the stasis shards will return back to you. They will track through the sky back to you, and collecting those shards will refill the magazine. And then also on the catalyst, collecting the shards will now overflow the magazine. And we also have Headstone, which is precision final blow, causes a stasis crystal to spawn. And you can see here with Tithing Harvest mixed with our grenades, we can spawn a bunch of stasis shards, which we're going to take a lot more advantage of, other than just refilling our magazine when we get to the fragments. You freeze targets or you headstone them, you shatter those crystals, you get shards which return back to you, which refill your magazine, so you continuously go on. And one key note about the addition of Headstone to this gun, which is a late change Bungie made, when you get a precision final blow and you cause that Headstone to rise up from the ground and you get that stasis crystal, if shattering that crystal kills any other enemies, all those enemies killed by the shattering of those crystals will also count for death throw stacks on Verity's Brow. Much like a Dragonfly or a Firefly effect, it still counts as a weapon kill because the headstone was caused by a weapon, which means we can get to ×5 stacks on death throws really quickly, which will allow us to get that increased grenade recharge rate and throw out those double damage nades as much as we want. And we can shatter those double damage nades with our Wicked Implement to cause more stasis charge to drop. You can see where the loop's going here. But now let's go into our Shadebinder subclass, and unfortunately we still have to click on Winter's Wrath. Please give us a new super for Shadebinder. We're going to obviously be using the Glacier Grenades so we can get those big fat shatters, pop those crystals, make those shards. And then for our aspects, we're going to be rocking the Ice Flare Bolts. So when we shatter a frozen target, we get these little seekers that go out and freeze more guys, and we can continuously keep hitting frozen targets to again generate more shards. And Glacial Harvest, again, to spawn even more shards just by freezing targets. and we can just keep making more and more shards. And we're going to utilize those shards even more. We've got Whisper of Fishes, obviously, for increased damage and range on all of our stasis crystals that we're making. So we can just keep shattering and make those bigger and bigger. No brainer. We've also got Whisper of Rendering, which is going to allow Wicked to implement just to one tap any crystals we are making. Plus, we get 50% extra damage against frozen targets. So any damage increase we can get to a scout rifle is highly welcome. We also have Whisper of Rhyme, which when picking up those stasis shards is going to give us a small amount of overshield. And we have Whisper of Shards, which picking up those stasis crystals is also going to give us increased recharge rate on our grenades. Even more so on top of Verity's Brow. But Whisper of Shards gives us an additional 500% regen rate for up to 11 seconds. And this keeps refreshing when you pick up crystals. From my testing, if you have Death Throws times 5 plus the Whisper of Shards buff, you can get your grenade back in just 13 seconds. So you can keep shattering big fat crystals as long as you're getting kills on and freezing enemies. You can see the gameplay loop we've got going here. Use Wicked to implement, get a precision kill, shatter the crystal that it makes, get some large stacks of death throws, get spawn shards which come back to you, which is going to help get your grenades back, give you and heal you. You can throw out your grenade, shatter that, double damage on AoE, and give you more shards back, help fuel grenade, whilst you're also getting more kills with the scout rifle to keep the death throws going. It's a very self-sustaining loop of Wicked implement highly complementing our huge grenade kills. On my mods, there's only a couple of things I'd say are a must-have. On the helmet, obviously, we've got to have Harmonic Siphon, so we can just create orbs on our double kills with Wicked implement. On the gloves, I definitely recommend having Grenade Kickstart plus firepower, so we can create more orbs on the big shadows we're making, plus get that little bit of extra grenade charge back when we throw out our grenades. I have found in doing Legend Onslaught, especially at the final 20 or so waves, having maybe at least 2 copies of Stasis Surge on really helps pick up the damage that scout rifles don't have. But otherwise, the rest of your mods can be whatever you feels necessary for the activity. So those complementary weapons I was talking about, let's go over them right now. The Indebted Kindness. There's no secret that this gun has been the gun of the month, but it is a slightly different role to the Vault Shot role you've all been grinding for. You see, my Indebted Kindness was the first one I got with Life from Gold and I stuck with it, but it was a happy little accident that it came with the perk Permability. When you use your class ability, this weapon changes its damage type to match your subclass, and it will disappear when you stow away the weapon. This means we can turn Indebted Kindness into a stasis weapon, which will help get us stasis kills, which is going to help us grind orbs with our Harmonic Siphon, but also help us collect those stacks of death throws on those bigger, chunkier enemies that are just charging towards us, especially in Onslaught. You got knights and ogres charging towards you. You can't get those slow sacks on by the precision hits, but you can still rack up the death throws with the Indebted Kindness. Other gun, which is surprisingly really fun, and I've barely seen anyone talk about since it came out with the release of Lightfall, but it's Dimensional the Neomuna Grenade Launcher. That is a compressed waveframe archetype, which I believe is the only heavy waveframe in the game still, right? It's the only stasis one. And mine has Chain Reaction with Envious Assassin, which allows you just to spam out these big waveframe shots, which all have Chain Reaction on, which just throw off everything, and just one fire of this will rack you up to those times 5 death throws. You can throw out your Glacier Grenade and even explode it again using this grenade launcher and just cause a big AoE to shatter everything that's in your path. But as per usual with most grenade-based builds, you want to try and hit that 100 result and the 100 discipline again, because a lot of our recharge rates are percentage buffs. So the faster we can make a grenade base cooldown, the even better 500% increased regen rate is going to be. And then recovery, I would recommend for at least 80 in recovery, because you haven't got too much recovery outside of going to pick up those shards, unlike something like Devour or Restoration. The Healing Rift is going to be pretty nice, especially with a scout rifle, so you can sit back and sit in your rift and get away with those kills. But I hope you enjoyed the build. Dim link will be in the comment section below. Thank you for the support on the last build video. It went really well, so I hope you enjoyed this one too. Bye.